Welcome back, everybody, to the You Ask We podcast, the show where you ask the questions, they answer them, and I'm just the guy in the middle. Once again, my name is Eden Toronto, and today we have an amazing guest for y'all. He's a 22-year-old from San Francisco, California, and because he loves basketball so much, he decided, you know what? I'm just going to make a highlight page. And that highlight page is called Highlights from Heaven. It has over 100,000 followers across all social medias as a whole. Plus, he has videos with millions of streams. I want everyone to give a warm welcome to my boy Raphi Shpitalnik. Raphi, how's it going, my man?
Hey man, thanks for having me. I'm like super hyped.
For people who didn't watch that first episode and they don't know, pretty much throughout the week, I try to get a bunch of different viewers to submit questions that they want to ask the guest. And I have a bunch of viewer submission questions right here on my phone. You don't see it because of the background, but I got all my questions right here, and I'm happy to ask all of them today, starting with the way the show goes. I always ask the first question, and just what's going on, man? What's new?
Honestly, bro, not too much. Man, I'll definitely. I think
You
I'm gonna.
also just at summer league, weren't you? You're just at the end of
Yeah, yeah,
the
it was dope. I think summer league is one of the best like things that the NBA has to offer. Like I'm going there with my kids every single year. It's so dope. Summer league. I don't work for the NBA. Like this is not sponsored or anything. But like summer league, you pay like $50 for a ticket, and you get to go all day, sit wherever the heck you want. And these are all like first year, second year guys that are gonna like be ballers one day, Like they're rookies now, like no one really like knows too much about them, but like they're gonna be some dogs in the NBA and like you get to see them. They sign autographs, like it's such a good experience for kids. Like kids, they love this stuff.
of the
So
kids. Yo from Toronto actually asked this, and I'm actually really curious myself. How did you first get into creating basketball content? Like, what inspired you to pursue it in social media?
and like in middle school, for some reason I enjoyed making videos. I never really like pursued it to like a crazy degree. But then during COVID, um, like I was at home like everyone, and then my dad, he like runs this little side gig, and he had bought like the Adobe subscription, and he was like messing around with it, but like he wasn't down to like learn it. So he kind of like went to me and was like, "You want to do this for me? I'll pay you." And I was like, "All right, cool, I'll figure it out." And like that was fun, but like 5 videos in, I'm like, screw this. This is the most boring shit in the world. Like I can't do this anymore. And like at that point, I had like gotten familiar with editing, and like I was like watching like Instagram videos, and like I was like, shit, I could do this. Like this is terrible. Like how hard is it to like match up the like a video with audio and I bought some like transition. I don't know if you know anything about editing, but you can like buy these transitions. Now everything like you can do everything on CapCut. Like I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah.
You can get all these like transitions, but like
I hate CapCut
yeah,
with
fuck CapCut. Yeah, yeah, it's
oh my
stealing like
God.
everyone's jobs. I just like saw these videos and I was like, I could do this, and like I could do this with like stuff I like. Like I love the Warriors, and like I just like whipped out my first Warriors like 2015 NBA championship little mixtape. Still got it up. It's like the first post on my account. It's got a good like 17 views, and that's like where it started. And like I created that, and like it was just such a good feeling because like I'm like a creative person. Like my family made me go to art class when I was little. I love the art class. Like I could just sit there and like color things. Um, and like I had that like creative like part of my life. Um, and then like I found this video thing, and like the fact that I created it and like put the music, it was a Kanye song. Um, yeah, like that's kind of where it started. I really started going hard on this during in Israel. In Israel, I don't know if I went back like for my second year. I did like a second year gap year. I don't know if everyone here is Jewish or not. Probably not. So like I went to Israel for 2 years. The thing that I decided, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do some video editing. Like I'm gonna give this another shot. And like that's when I picked up TikTok. I made a TikTok video. We got like a few thousand views, and I was like, this is so dope. Like this is great. like let me see what I could do. And like it kind of like started there in Israel. I was just like making these videos, these random videos, like just like stuff that I loved, like these highlights that I was watching since I was like young, with music that I've been listening to since I was young. And it was a great experience, you know. One thing, I gotta give a huge shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. He was like a big inspiration of mine at the time. Just like, you know, he had this great mindset of like, screw it, like just keep posting, and like eventually, like if you're good, you'll like hit on something, and if you're not, you won't. But like you'll never know unless you like give it a shot.
You started from something so low, and because of the fact that like you didn't care and you just kept pushing, it became
Mhm.
so big. Like it's something that's like genuinely insane how you got to
Yeah.
that level. And I think I can speak as a friend. I'm insanely proud of you for doing that because wow,
Thanks, man.
that's
Yeah.
nuts. I mean, I have no right to be proud, but I am.
No, I
Uh,
appreciate it, bro.
yeah.
I
And speaking of that, like considering the fact that it's like it grew from like something so low to so high, I guess a bunch of people, including Alex from South Africa, um, he actually wants to know how exactly do you grow an audience organically?
mm.
Did it like just happen?
But I don't know. I think first of all, it all comes down to like the consistency. Like honestly, like I think there's one like major flaw that I see with people sometimes. Um, Basically, okay, there are so many social, like there's so many people out there that you could target to like watch your stuff, you know? And like if people are solely like relying on their friends to like and share their stuff, then I think that like it's never gonna work out, you know? This is not sustainable, you know? Like I might think your content is cool and all, but like there's so many people in this world, and there's so many people that could potentially like love your stuff, you know? And you gotta like target your stuff. You gotta put your effort to find them, not like me. You know what I'm saying? Not like your random, friend from, you know, Jewish camp that like doesn't really like give a crap about what you're talking about, you know? You
So what
gotta you
you're saying
because
is to
there's
kind of
so
target to the masses.
what?
What you're saying is kind of target to the masses rather than
Yeah, exactly. Because like, yeah, for like one post that might look nice, like all your friends kind of like liked your thing and got a bunch of shares, and like the comment section is like popping. But like why limit yourself to that when you could like just like go full on trying to like figure out who your real audience is. You know what I'm saying? 2 summers ago, I had just come back from Israel. I did like 2 months in college. It was like this special program. And then like I had the summer. So I didn't have a job. I didn't have any internship, but I had this thing. I had this like highlight gig. And at the same time, I was a huge Gary Vee fan. And like I had the mindset of like, I'm gonna do this consistently. I'm gonna do this well. I'm gonna like give this a shot. But at the same time, he was also preaching like get on TikTok, get on Instagram Reels, because like this is the future. And like at the time, specifically Instagram Reels, like no one was posting that shit. Nobody. And I could throw up anything, any video, and it would blow up. Absolutely blow. Like if you look at my feed from like what was it, 2021, summer of 2021, you'll see like the most random like summer league videos, and like they were getting crazy views. And like at the time, I wasn't like even videotaping yet. I was just taking videos off the stream. I was streaming on like Stream East. Like I wasn't paying for that. I was going on Stream East. Shout out to them. They're great.
out of streamies. The best. So
Stream East,
good.
yeah. Throw a little link in the description.
I,
Uh,
I, I can't do that.
yeah.
They'll bust them.
Yeah. So I was going there. I got my little I don't even know. I forgot what it's called, but it was like a little like record, like a screen capture thing on my laptop, and like I would just record video like highlights as they happen, put some little like Kanye music on it, throw it up, 300,000 views. Random summer league guy that no one's ever heard about, because no one was doing it. But how do you grow organically? I don't know. You just got to find like the next big thing, or be consistent, be passionate about it, because like like I loved it, you know? Like if you love it, like that's what they say. You don't work a day in your life if you do what you love. But like
That's
if you
cool.
like it, like when I wasn't making money doing this, like I just kind of liked it, you know?
And you were also talking before about like what you would do kind of on a day-to-day basis to like keep making content and keep producing content through the streamies, through COVID and all that stuff. But Mikey from Brooklyn and also a bunch of other people, they want to know what exactly, as of today, does your day-to-day upkeep of the page consist of?
Gotta tell you, it's hard. Um, and I talked about this a little bit before, but like the summer league was like it was tough. Like I don't know if I'm cut out for that life, you know? Like it really is. And I think this is kind of like another transition, another like big point that like I think is important. Um, People talk about, like having like a side hustle, you know, that's like a big thing. Have a side hustle, you know, but like I don't know how much I agree with a side hustle, you know. For some people, I think it works. Like some people are just dogs like that. But like I think for like the majority of people, a side hustle could actually be like a little bit like detrimental in the sense that like because you have this side hustle, you're not necessarily giving your like primary thing the focus it needs. And then with your side hustle, you know, you're also you're competing with someone that's, you know, your side hustle is their main hustle. So that's who you're competing with. You're kind of like losing out on these like on both sides of the spectrum. And like something for me is like I kind of wish I gave myself more of like an opportunity, you know, to like just just go with it.
Speaking of the equipment used in summer league, because you were saying how you're pretty much a videographer now. SJ from TNEC actually asked, "What are your top tips for creating high quality reels?" Because we actually see on your account like it started off from recordings of Stream East, but now it's clips that you're making on your own, and the quality is really good. It's like really good quality. So I think we're all curious as to how exactly you do that.
Yeah, so I I bought a really expensive camera with um I got a stimulus check from my college for like $2,000. And I was like, screw it, I'm buying a camera. Like I wanted a camera for a while and like I wasn't sure how to pay for it. And then I got this check and I was like, okay. And then I sold some crypto. I bought a camera that I've been eyeing for a while. And yeah, and the rest is history, you know. Um, I gotta give a shout out. Like, I think these two guys, like maybe most people won't know them, but I went to Los Angeles with Levi Paris and Ellie Jonah Carls, and it was a
Shout out.
weird squad. I was like, what the hell am I doing? But like at the same time, like that, like they were exactly what I needed at the time, and they pushed me. They were like, your stuff's dope. Like I had been working behind a camera. I did some Max Live. It's like the broadcast for our university. And like I worked behind a camera, and that's kind of where I was like, wait, this is not hard at all. Like I could do this. Um, and like they kind of pushed me. They were like, you should actually. Ellie Jonah Carls actually gave me a loan for $2,000, which I paid him back with my crypto fund. But shout out to him. He kind of pushed me to do it. He gave me 2 grand. And I don't think I ever gave him enough credit for it because like it kind of changed my life a little bit. So yeah.
So pretty much when you go to these games, with all your equipment and all that stuff, David from LA wants to know, and I'm actually kind of curious about this too. Do you run into any like copyright or like security issues or anything like that? And it's like, how do you get it? Like, do you just get a ticket and like take your camera and like just shoot, or do you have to like network to get into like an event or something like that? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's like probably my most popular question. Like how do I get to games? Every people don't realize how saturated this like space is, but like everyone's trying to get into games, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and for me, it's kind of like a mix of all those. I have snuck into games. I have gotten media credentials to, film for players in the NBA. But how do you get in? Don't take no for an answer. I think that's like the main thing.
What do you mean by that? Like, do you like sneak in? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
So I have snuck in, and like sneaking in, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a good like catalyst to kind of get yourself up there, but it's not like you can't rely on it because sneaking in is not like the most kosher way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say to the people watching from home, it's much better to have contacts. I promise you that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And like, developing those contacts and like creating those relationships where people could like, actually get you in legitimately. Like that's what it's all about. And the way you do that is by, offering them value. So like I think the biggest thing that like I would recommend to, you know, anyone in like any industry is, you got to give, and then at a certain point you kind of like ask, and then because they know that you're reliable and you can produce this like service, then they'll be willing to say, all right, bet I got you, let me get you some credentials to help me out. So I think that's like the main thing. But yeah, I mean, like I've snuck in. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, when you're starting out, there's no other way to do it. But like understanding that like that's not the way to do it. You gotta give value and then eventually get these credentials. That's like the most important thing. My first time when I had like my media credentials, I was at a Philadelphia 76ers game, and someone on the Kings, they were playing the Sacramento Kings. Someone on the Kings gave me media credentials. And I was like, bet. I'm gonna go shoot courtside. So I went down sitting courtside. It was the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire freaking life. And I shot the whole game. And then like in the end, like at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, some media guy comes up to me, yells the hell out of me, cusses me out. He's like working for the Kings, tells me to get the fuck off the court. And I'm like, holy shit,
Oh,
what? So he's like, you're lucky I don't kick you out right now. And I was like, holy shit.
but
This
why was he yelling at you? You have the credentials.
Because turns out you like can't necessarily sit on the court. There's like designated places for you to sit. And I
Ah,
didn't know this, but like at the same time, like I definitely like jumped the gun a little bit.
it's
Like
insane.
I don't know if you guys know how I shoot, but like I really do like this angle from like the bottom, kind of you see the floor and stuff. Like that's like my favorite type of angle. But I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go sit on courtside at a Philadelphia 76ers game. Like this could be great. So like yeah. So like yeah, I've had like problems like that. Other things like that have come up. But um, you know, just important to like relax. We're not doing anything illegal here. Like you'll have trouble, you have bumps on the road. But yeah.
Isaac from LA is actually curious. In regards to angle, or regards to player, or regards to like what exactly is happening on the court, what specific criteria do you look for when selecting like which plays make the cut, and like what do you look for? Like, do you just keep recording and like wait for something to happen and then like you cut that in post, or do you just like look for certain things in the game?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, first of all, it depends on like what you're filming for, what you're planning on editing. But the thing that I've seen get the most like traction, the most views, the most comments, all that stupid shit. Like the thing that people love the most when it comes to like this, and I think really like any industry, anything people related, like anything when you're shooting human beings, the thing that people love the most and eat up is like emotion. People love like seeing, feeling some sort of emotion. So like I think my like best example, like if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see this video. It's a video of Steph Curry. He like jammed his finger, and like his reaction is like he's just like in physical pain because like any like real baller, any like mediocre baller knows that feeling, the feeling of jamming your finger. Like I've jammed every single one of mine like 20 times, and like just like seeing one of the greatest players of all time being a normal human being and like experiencing like the pain of like something so mundane as like jamming your finger, like people love that. People love like understanding that like these people are human and seeing them like exemplify something like of being just like normal. I think that's the thing I look for the most. But like there's like any like just depends on like what you're shooting. You know, like if you're trying to make like a mixtape like with like the best like highlights, like you can't like that's like that has no space in that area. But I think that's like definitely what shows. That's what I look for the most. Like that's what I love. That's what makes it like enjoyable for me. Like seeing these guys, like they're just human beings. Like they're just like having a good time, you know? But yeah.
And honestly, we love watching it too. When we hear someone like yell like and one and stuff like that, it's like
Mhm.
I noticed those videos get a lot of traction because it's like everyone loves those types of videos.
Right.
Like
Yeah, you could
playing basketball in high school, I was like, don't get it twisted. I was like 13th man on the bench.
right.
Like I was barely getting minutes. But when I did, like it was like the dream to get one of those like and one plays and just be able to like scream in front of the crowd. Like, I like it. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kyle from Dallas, shout out to him. He actually asked, what strategies do you use to make your videos and your account specifically? Like, what do you do to make yourself unique? Because the whole bit is that there's a lot of highlight people on like social media, like TikTok, Instagram, the whole shabagle. So how do you make yourself different from anybody else if you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question. It's also something I like ask myself and something that like I kind of struggle with because there's like it's exploded. It's exploded the past couple years. I like to think that I spearheaded it because like 2 years ago, like I think like there's me and this other guy. And like now it's me, this other guy, and like a million other guys. But I probably didn't spearhead. I probably just like didn't know about the other guys. But I think like it's hard, you know. There are a lot of people out there. You're always comparing yourself. Like a lot of people are better than you. Um, but I think that something that like something that most people can't beat is like your work ethic, you know? And like this industry is all about like it's all about like timing, you know? Like if you go to a game and you get a mixtape out, you know, an hour after the game, 30 minutes after the game, like you win. You beat everyone. And it all comes down to like you work harder than everyone. You know what I'm saying? And that's tough. That's tough. Like you just, spend 3 hours like filming a game and now I'm gonna go, you know, edit this video for another like 2 hours. That's tough. Like, I don't want to do that. But like that's how you make yourself stand out. But I think like I don't like see I don't know how much this relates. Like if you're a videographer, this advice would be like amazing. But if you're not, I don't really like I guess you can try to like extrapolate, certain information from it that'll help you in your industry. But like the way to get big in this industry and like something that like I didn't do, but like something that I understand is um you gotta find some kid, a young kid that's coming up like a 3-star recruit, 4-star recruit, and you gotta like know a little bit about basketball and like kind of put your money on this kid, maybe a few kids, and just like give them free content, shoot whatever they want, because chances are this 4-star recruit out of like God knows where, like the Bronx or like some random city in North Carolina, like no one knows about, like this kid will be in the NBA in 2 years. He's a senior right now. he hasn't really accepted any college offers yet, but like he's gotten a few. Like that's who you want to target. That's who you want to become friends with. That's who you want to like. You want to have this guy like know you and know that like when he goes to the league, like I'm gonna hook you up. You can be my guy. Like that's the secret sauce, and that's how you'll differentiate yourself. And that's how you'll get into any game you want. That's it. But it's like a time thing. You're investing, countless hours into this one kid in hopes that like he makes it, and in hopes that you make it with
Speaking
him.
speaking of staying unique and sticking to like specific players, Yitzi from Maryland asked this question. I think it's a really good one because you've done a lot of clips and highlights of Jewish basketball players like Ryan Terrell. For the viewers at home, if you don't know who Ryan Terrell is, you'll find out very soon. You'll find out pretty much next week. But yeah, you have people like Ryan Terrell. You got some Jewish high school ballers like Johnny Dan and Noam Yuchas. Shout out to them. Um, and those videos, they all did like huge numbers. Like they all got like they were like the few videos of yours that like hit the millions. So I guess what Yitzi's asking, what I'm curious about also, were you surprised that they blew up so hard, like so much? And what made you decide to do that in the first place, like to post them?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a great question actually. And I don't know, it's nice. First of all, it's nice to like get acknowledged for that because I definitely think I like put the skill level has to be there, but like I definitely like put Jewish basketball on the map a little bit. So that's cool.
Really
Um,
good,
but
honestly.
yeah, but like I can't like I don't know. I went to YU, and I was like shooting stuff for these guys. So it's just like the natural process of like I have this account, so like why not post some stuff? And like Ryan Terrell was like huge at the time, so like I posted some stuff of him. Um, but but yeah, like I don't know. And then these two, like Johnny Dan and Noah Mayuchas, like they happened to be my campers in camp. So I like went out of my way to like go to their games at NYU. Like, I don't know, I just kind of like wanted to go to like see what happens. They were like so good and like Noah Mayuchas is so fun to watch. He's such an I don't know if you've looked at him, but like
For the people at home, he's the Jewish Jordan Poole.
yeah, he's a Jewish Jordan Poole, like for real. Like he has and this kid like he has so much freaking emotion.
Mm-hmm.
He's so emotional, like not like crying, but like he'll like start throwing gang signs in the middle of a Jewish basketball game, and like that's the funniest thing in the world. Like who the hell is this kid? And like that's how he was in camp. Like that's how I remember him, this little like
Yeah.
5 foot tall little kid, like freaking like menace. And like you've done this for long enough, and you're like, yeah, like there's no way this doesn't explode because it's like hilarious because the kid's wearing a yarmulke. And like you put it on social media and obviously like people will eat it up as well. So like I don't know, like I didn't necessarily do it for any like Judaism reason. Like I kind of just like had like a sick clip and like I don't know. And like I got Johnny Dan's block. I got like a really good shot of Johnny Dan's block a couple years ago. He had like a really late in the
Yeah,
game.
for those who don't know back home, Johnny Dan and Noma Yuchas, they both played for Valley Torah High School, and pretty much every year there's a Jewish tournament that allows all the Jewish high schools to kind of go head to head, kind of like a March Madness type of thing. And in the final game, Johnny Dan had a ridiculously clutch defensive play. Like it was just like a LeBron-esque chase down block, like with like what 2 minutes in the game left or something like that. And it was like a close game too. So it was like a very clutch moment. And it's like uh
Yeah.
Rafi was able to capture that, and that video did numbers. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly, like I think that video probably hit like 20 million views, because like it was circulating every single WhatsApp group chat, and like people were sending it out like crazy, and like it did on my account itself, it did crazy numbers.
It's also
I
like it
feel
wasn't
like
even just Jews that were watching it. It was like random like I don't
yeah,
like people, but it was like like people that were like not even Jewish. Like they were like looking at it, commenting. They're like, "Whoa!" Like you really did put Jewish ball on the map a little bit.
yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Um, I wish someone did that for me back in the day.
So
Um,
moving on from that, Levy from New York is curious as to because you've done so many like dope gigs, like NBA Summer League. You've went to NBA games. Is like you had like passes to go for like media coverage and things like that. What would you say is your biggest dream gig? That's what Levi wants to know.
I just want, I want something more consistent. Like that's the dream. I've had these like moments where I have like media passes to games and stuff, but like it was kind of just out of nowhere, like, one-off type of things, like a few times a year. But, having something more consistent, working with like a player more like full time, like that would be amazing. Like that's something that like I drop out of college for. So like that's like the dream. Um,
I mean,
we'll see whatever
you
happens.
would get it because the talent's there. You know,
Yeah, that's what I think. I think the talent's there too. But yeah, you know, I have some ideas, some stuff's kind of cooking in the pipeline. But you know, that's the dream. But it's all about, providing value to these players and, you know, being a good asset to them, being a great asset to them.
this is actually something I'm curious about because you brought up Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Um, who would you say if you had to narrow it down to three? Okay, who are your top three favorite players that you've done clips for, and who's your top three that you have yet to do and you really want to do clips for?
Oh, I mean, I'm a Warriors fan over here, so I love Steph. Steph is so fun to watch. Um, I also love Jordan Poole. Like I see myself like practicing some of his moves because they're just like they're so smooth. I can't shoot threes, but I see myself doing a little double step back 3-pointer that he does. I mean, everyone's doing that, but like just because I love that player. I love Steph. I love Jordan Poole. Um,
Would you say is like three that like you have yet to make clips of that you really really want to?
I mean LeBron. I've never seen LeBron play. Um, oh, also I did some what's his name? Donovan Mitchell. That guy. Wow. That guy's a bucket. And you don't realize how athletic he is also. Man.
No, he
Um,
he can jump out the gym if you want.
mhm.
Really.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, I want to do some like Tyler Hero. That'd be cool.
interesting. Really.
Yeah.
Seemed like such a
Um,
flashy player. Just has emotion. It's the emotion thing. It's the
yeah.
emotion. I get it now. Okay. I
Um,
feel like Ant would be someone like Anthony
yeah,
Edwards. I feel like
yeah,
he's someone that would like
yeah.
be a
He's
good clip for you too, because he's also an emotional player, kind of.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he has like loud plays too. Like, did you see that he had like this one posterizer on Yuta Watanabe?
Who even is that?
He was the guy. He was on the Nets with like KD. Came off the bench. Now he got traded to the Suns.
Okay.
He's like this Asian
What did he
player.
dunk? Oh, so
Uh,
he dunked on him? Yeah, dude. The
like
man
he
is great.
literally folded Yuta Watanabe in half. It was like the probably the most insane poster I've ever seen. Like that was
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Ant's crazy. Oh, I want to videotape LaMelo. LaMelo's great.
Well, he's
He's
smooth.
he's a fun player. He's not very emotional. I mean, yeah, maybe he is. I don't know. I,
Yeah,
I gotta tell the podcast. I was absolutely wrong about LaMelo. I thought he was gonna be such a bust. I'm a Warriors fan. We
Billy.
we drafted freaking James Wiseman over LaMelo Ball, and I was ecstatic. I was so happy about it. I was like,
I mean,
wow, we
it's
just.
like it was the right pick though. It was the right pick at the
I mean,
time.
for the Warriors, yeah, you got Steph, Clay.
It's like
Like,
you're not gonna pick up Lamelo when you have like 87 guards already. Like it's like
mhm. Yeah, 100%. It was the right play,
I mean,
but
although I could see you guys picking Lamelo and then using him as trade capital.
yeah, I mean, yeah, LaMelo would be like Jordan Poole, like on the Warriors the past couple of years. Like he'd come off the bench, put up a good 15, 20. But
Yeah, but someone like Lamelo shouldn't come off the bench. He's a bona fide starter.
yeah,
Since
but I'm saying for the Warriors though, for the like Jordan Poole is about to be an all-star.
yeah, for the Warriors, I'd rather like if I were a Warriors fan. I'm not. I'm a Rockets fan. H Town, go up. But
Hey man, they look good. They might make the playoffs this year. They
I,
look good.
I really don't think so. But I hope I'm wrong about that. But
What's his name? Jabari Smith Jr. has his name right. No.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
balling. He was balling
Dude,
inside.
yeah. I shot it. I videotaped the game where he dropped like 45 points. Easy. Easy points. This kid is great. And like Dylan Brooks,
Oh,
underrated player. Dylan Brooks is underrated.
oh
I don't care
no.
what anyone says about Dylan Brooks. He's a piece of shit, but like
He does not deserve 80
the
million
guy.
dollars. I don't care what anybody says. He does not deserve 80 million dollars. When I saw that post as a Rockets fan that we gave this man 80 million dollars for 4 years,
I think you guys underpaid him.
I was gonna underpaid.
You guys got to
What do
see
you
him.
mean?
Yeah.
He was the single-handed reason that the Memphis Grizzlies lost last year. Single-handedly the reason he poked the bear. You can't poke the bear, bro. Oh no, I
Nah.
can't stand that guy. I can't stand him. I can't believe we picked him up. Like, and also like Cam Whitmore is a baller. Literally, he just won the MVP of the summer league.
Yeah. Guy likes to shoot, but he's good. Bit of a ball hog, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's good. I don't know. I think my perspective of Dylan Brooks changed at the summer league because like I just saw him being like a normal dude. You know, like he was there
Yeah,
watching the Thunder, watching the Rockets play, and like he was just like chilling. Like he was like a
yeah.
normal.
Regardless, like a normal person, okay, but it's like
Yeah,
as a basketball player, like you don't deserve 80 mil. You just don't.
yeah. I don't know.
I'd take him on a vet minimum. I'd take him on something like that. Like
Dude,
if I
he's a first team all defense. No, I
no.
think so. I think he's first team all defense this year. Maybe not. I don't know. I may have pulled that out of my mind.
I think even
But
like a 2-year 30 mil deal, okay. You know, that's fine. We're not wasting that much money. 4 years, $80 million is a lot of money. A lot
yeah,
of money. Thank God we have it because like we're just filled with young players, but eventually some of these players are going to need extensions. And if we're
good point.
throwing 80
Good
mil
point.
out the window,
It's a good point. You're gonna have to give what's his name, Jalen Green a max whenever that comes up.
pretty much last question before I let you go. And again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you for this. And the last question I also ask every episode, and it's the same thing. If you had to give one piece of advice to the people watching today, what would it be?
I think like the one piece of advice would just be like give yourself a shot. Give something like all your attention for like a certain amount of time, and like if it works out, like go with it. And like if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. We're young. We can make mistakes, we can fail, you know. But like if we don't try, like this is what everyone says, you know. So like excuse me for being redundant or unoriginal, but I think it makes so much sense. And as like someone who maybe like didn't necessarily like give themselves like the biggest shot yet, you know, give yourself the opportunity to succeed, you know, like allow yourself time to just work on whatever you're working on and give it 100% and see where it takes you.
Thank you one more time for coming
Yeah.
on the podcast. I appreciate you tons. You're amazing. You're an inspiration, and really thank you. And to everyone watching, thank you all for watching. I want to remind y'all, if you like this episode, if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to participate, if you want to ask questions for the next guest, make sure to follow the links down below, look at the socials, and just follow them, see what's going on there. And one more time, this has been the You Ask We podcast. That was Raphi Shpitalnik, and I'm Ed in Toronto. See you guys next week. Yeah.